My name's Lukey T from Wolves Fancast. Fancast Full Access. They've given me, I don't even want to say my own show, but they let me have the password for the Instagram basically. So I just thought I'll do a little thing. And what I want to do is I want to get local people on from Wolves, or Birmingham, Dudley, wherever, and just promote them. Because, you know, after the year we've had, I think people need promoting, people need pushing.
Need to help each other.
You know what? We're not even the biggest channel in the world, but if we can help you, you jumping on with us is going to help us. It's all good, man. It's all good. So that's the whole purpose of this. And what we're going to be talking about is just Ty, basically.
Me? I'm boring, man.
So that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. The main man himself, Mr. Ty Clarke.
Right. No
pressure. So, right. Well, I do want to keep a little bit of order to it, but obviously, this is just going to be just me and you just chatting.
Yeah, just a bit
boring. I don't want it to be too serious. I don't want it to be too strong.
I'm never serious anyway, bro, so.
Well, one thing I will say is that you're actually a half-decent Call of Duty player.
Mate, I've got the... Wait, look at my new pad.
You've got a new pad here?
Pada.
Because, you know what, I'm going to start off on a negative.
Go on then.
Right. Me and you, we've actually played Call of Duty a couple of times. You might not even remember. With Smithy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And you don't even have to be your friend. What's that all about, Ty? What's that all about? I thought we connected.
No way. Mate, I'll add you up straight off this one. I'll have a few games in.
I'm terrible anyway. Ty, you carried us. You're a decent player. But you've got the rat settings, ain't you?
Yeah, I've got all the pedals at the back and everything, but yeah.
Madness. So, less about that. I want to start off with Ty. Who is Ty? Where are you from? How old are you? Come on, start from the beginning.
Okay, so I'll start from the beginning. So, obviously, my name's Ty. I'm 30, turned 30 earlier in about 4 weeks ago, man. Horrible. But yeah, so I grew up in Darlaston, so that's like a Walsall area. Then I moved to Tipton, which is a Dudley area, and now I'm based in Sedgley, which is also a Dudley area. But I've always been around football, the gym, and just like going out and socialising. So everybody sort of knew me from just being a bit of an idiot, to be fair. So, yeah, that's how all the local people know me anyway. But obviously, just wrap it up short. So I got the chance to do modelling for like a career for like a few years. So that's why I've got a bit of a following and stuff like that. So I'm from Wolves, and not many people from Wolves get the sort of lifestyle I've had. So it is a good thing. So this is why I say when Luke's asked me on the show, obviously I'm gonna say yeah, and I just wanna talk about. I know it's a bit sad, like say talk about me, but I just think people are actually quite interested because I do get quite a few messages and that. So I'll answer all the questions I can as best as I can. What Luke's got for me, but yeah, man, let's get into it, man.
You know what? I always find Wolves get such a bad rep. It's unbelievable. And there's a lot of people in Wolves doing big things like there's some talented people in Wolves. There's some intelligent businessmen in Wolves, or businessmen and sorry. Yeah. But we just get a bad rep. I think it's the accent, if I'm being honest.
It's the accent, man.
Everyone thinks we're thick as fuck, but we're not.
But to be fair, so for example, people talk to me, oh, you're a nice lad and that. I go, yeah, man, I'm saying, but like, if I answer the phone when you've got a bank problem or something, and I answer the phone, you go, well, I have in that voice deal with my banking, do you know what I mean? We just sound like we can't read all right, man. So
exactly.
But when you talk to us, Sam,
we know what we're on about, man. We know what we're on about. We're good people. But like with the modelling, how long have you been doing that for now?
So let me think. I'm gonna say about 7 years, you know. So about 6-7 years. It started. So I was working in construction. So obviously I played grassroots football, semi-pro, and then I played pretty decent level. Played for Chasetown, played for Inkley, and then something bad happened to me. So like I had this infection in my hair, and like my head got all infected and stuff, and lost my hair. So then I was just off the scene for about 1.5 years. Just obviously I was like, it's not very nice. So I was like off the scene for about 1.5 years, and then I had to get like, so then I couldn't really find a job and stuff. So I just went to like a job that allowed me to keep like a hat on, like a hard hat or a woolly hat. So that's why I had to go into construction. So I was working for like car farm warehouse at first in factories, and then I went into construction just for the reason that I could cover up my hair. Like,
no way.
It's mad. Like, not many people know, to be fair.
So what was that? Was that alopecia or something like that, or was it
No,
something?
like, so it's when your hair follicles get infected. So my hair follicle got infected, and it just went crazy because I don't know what it was. I just thought it was like an itchy head or something. Like I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
And then the infection got that bad. You'd have to like push all the hair out, like 'cause all the stuff had to come out anyway. It's horrible. But anyway, so that's why I ended up like being on the construction side, not really knowing what I wanted to do. And then I was doing pretty well at football, but then that cut short because of this. And then I was like, man, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, and then I was just like, and then look, I was literally working on site in Birmingham, and I had like an email. So after my hair come back, obviously, I grew my hair, and obviously it all come back. But yeah, so I was working on sites, and literally I just had an email come through about like ASOS. So like I was like, surely this ain't right, this ain't real, like. And then I was doing a bit of Gym King at the time. He's literally just send us like a few of like t-shirts and vests, and we just put it on our Instagram, nothing serious.
Yeah.
And then I just started uploading pictures on my social media, and then that's when I got scouted by ASOS. I went down for the day, and I actually nearly backed out because I went down for like a trial, and I got that nervous, and I was that like unconfident. I was like, mate, I'm gonna go home, and I literally went to go home, and I just went, do you know what? So I just give myself a wobble, and I just go for it, man. And I did, and I look back, man. So it changed my life, and it's just mad. Like my life has actually been quite mad, but I'm lucky, man. So lucky.
I was going to say one thing. If anyone's got any questions, just pop them in the comments and we'll read them out. Like, literally anything within reason, obviously. Don't be silly. But if you've got any questions for Ty, pop them in and we'll ask them. So, with the Gym King,
Yeah.
like, how did that come about, like?
So what it was, so the guy who owned Gym King, he had like a salon, but there's actually two of them. But one was doing Gym King, and then the one who still runs Gym King now, he had like a salon, and he invested some money into it. But then he was just like, do you know what? The best way to do this is if you get some good-looking lads on board and stuff like that. So they were just giving it out. So this was like the start of the Instagram thing. Like none of us knew it was going to happen. Like all this like influencer stuff. And he literally just had like 4 vests, a couple of tracksuits, and he just give them like to like some of the boys, like some in like London, Manchester, maybe in Birmingham Wolves area.
Yeah.
He just give us free stuff, and we just put a post up. And then he just chose his favourite 4, and the favourite 4 was me, Alex Bowen, Leon Scott, and Alex Cannon. And then we did our first photo shoot, and literally Twitter just went flew up like, and then it just kept rolling from there. It was just freak look like.
So, would you say like Gym King and that opportunity completely changed your life?
Yeah, 100%. So like So I've been there today, Gym King today, and like literally like he has changed my life. The one who owns it, his name's Jay, and like he's changed my life, he's changed Alex's life, he's changed all of our lives to be fair. But it's just like at the same time, it's like you gotta not get carried away by it, man, because it's just it don't mean anything. Like at the same, like all these opportunities, it's good to have the opportunities. Don't get me wrong. So I've been on the flip side of both things. I've seen teenagers coming at like 16 years old, think they've got like models, got the world at their feet, and they think that the bee's knees, like. And then there's me who's like from Tipton, and I'm like proper like scared to be there and stuff like that. So, but we've got the same opportunity. So when you come out of it and you come back into the real world, which is what's happening to me now, I've still bought the gym, I've started a supplement brand, and I'm taking the back foot of the modelling. I'm in the real world now. So it's like really all of that was a whole lot of nothing really. But I'm grateful for the opportunity.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean anything for your life. Do you know what I mean? You've got to learn. When you've been put in good opportunities, been around good people, you've got to learn not to get big-headed, observe, and take in the positivity, adapt it to your life, and then carry on with that. But if you think you're like, I'm not better than you, I'm not better than anybody else, and I get that all the time when I'm out, you tell you so normal. I'm like, what do you mean, bro? I'm from Tipton. Why would I be normal? And I hear it all the time. And it's just like, it's mad that the internet makes you think like that. So
we'll jump onto social media later because it's madness, bro. It's proper mad. But so, what sort of opportunities has that brought you? Like, have you travelled the world, met any famous people? Like what sort of stories have you got?
So I've been here, there, and everywhere really. I've been to like Dubai. I've shot in. Where else? I've shot in like LA, Vegas, Abu Dhabi, where else? Like Mallorca, Spain, like local ones, really. What else? Some mad places. Oh, I went, the best one. Tell you the best one. I've been to the Nike headquarters with ASOS, you know.
And where's that?
Portland in USA, man.
Yeah.
Bro, the best thing I've ever seen in my life. That's the first time they've ever let like an external brand into their brand.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it's just mad. They've got their own train tracks around the campus. Like, it's mad. It's mental. It's absolutely huge. It's like the size of, I don't know, it's like Birmingham City easily times 2.
What? Just the night campus?
Just the campus, like for workers and that. It takes you have to get around on either a bicycle, train, or like a golf cart thing.
So
It's
what did the ASOS take you there for?
So I was doing like an influencer job with them. So it's like they pick their favorite like people like involved with ASOS. So like I was like one of the models. So there was like, oh, Ty's got a pretty decent following. He seems like he connects to like the laddie sort of crowd. So what I do is like I'm representing ASOS, but from a laddie perspective.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? So it gets their attention through me, sort of thing, and then they just take you to mad places, see you have fun and stuff like that. And you just, it's mad. It's mad how it works because obviously people are just watching you all the time. You don't realise.
But do you know what I think personally? And people disagree with me. Like, but for a lad from Tipton to be given those opportunities,
Mad, isn't it?
like, it's amazing. It's amazing. But I mean, I don't know how people view you. If I'm being honest, because I know of you, but I don't know you too.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, Mrs. was asking me earlier, "Hey, do you know Ty?" I said, "I don't really know him, like."
I don't really know what to care about.
I know we played football with a few of my mates, and I've played COD with him a couple of times, but that's about it. Like, but like, I think personally, like, you should be a bit of an inspiration to people who come from Tipton, Willenhall, I don't know, Darlow, Wensfield, all them sort of areas.
Mate,
to say, like,
man, what a place.
Look, this guy's had a good life now, and he was a normal guy like me, like my next door neighbour, whoever, and you can just say now, yeah, I've been Vegas, Dubai, Nike headquarters, you've been flown out to Mallorca, you know what I mean? And I'm assuming, like, a lot of the time, if you don't mind me asking, like, all the expenses is covered.
It's covered.
That's what I mean, like, so
this is what I'm saying. So I'm from like a background where obviously like worked in construction, and then I was worried about losing my, like I said to my supervisor, walked into the office, I went, I've got something weird to ask you. And he's like, what? And he's like, I've got to go to mod. I'm going to try and be a model, but I don't know if it's going to work. Like they said, they're going to put me on like a trial. But is it all right if I just put this, like if I just leave and then is there a place if I come back? Like, I know that's a weird thing to say. Like, and he literally just went, mate, don't ever let us stop you. He goes, mate, you must sit work it, come back. If you don't work out, there's a place here for you. If you seems good luck to you, like. That was it. That's the last time I've ever saw my supervisor.
At least you have
the other day on Instagram. Yeah.
Because how many people run their own businesses, but they're that sort of self-obsessed, you know, they won't allow people to go and get those other opportunities. Because it's like, if I lose you, then I could potentially lose money, and I don't really care about you in your future.
It's even worse in the workplace. It's changing because Instagram and everything, social media is such a big thing now. So it's like people don't have to rely on the company unless it's career based, really, or you've got a good trade behind you. But like most normal jobs now, kids don't want to do them, or people don't want to do them. It's not glamorous enough. So it's getting even worse. And the thing is, when that becomes worse, is people are getting into what I do, what I've been doing for the past 7 years, with intent. And I don't think that's the right way to get into it. It just can't work. No one can look at him like, oh, I want to be them, because you're not them. So what you're trying to be, you can't be them. So. And
I think that's the sort of world we're coming into, where people will try and force a situation, and you can't force these situations. Like with some sort of influencer, shall we say, you can see that there's a lot of falseness around it. You can't keep it up. So I mean, obviously, I'm not an influencer, but my advice would be, if I was, just be yourself and be real.
The same cliche, like
that more.
Yeah. So when I was obviously modelling, and then I got it, so I had no idea I was going to be like the face of ASOS for 6 years. Man, I was like, man, I didn't even think I'd get through the trials. And like for me to have that opportunity, and then new models coming in looking up to me, and then people like even new models looking up to me and going, oh, what? And I was like, do you know what? I don't know the answer. It's like all a blur. I just got on with it, turned up, and I just like every day I was nervous, sweating every single day. Not one day I went past and just thought, I feel all right today. I was sweating all the time. It's weird, man. It's a weird situation. You've seen supermodels walk past you and all this, and people like they actually wanted to be a model. I never even knew it was a job, like.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
there every day, and I've got to be around them all the time and stuff like that. And like, you got to try and mingle with them, but you're not like them. You're not like I'm not like people in that industry. So when obviously when I come back home and I play football and stuff like that, people set the mic and stuff like that. I've had football games and like hit him in the face, like elbow his face. He wants to like I'll go up for headers and he goes, "You won't jump." I'm like, them trying to smash me. This one kid tried to absolutely nail me. And he was like, "I don't want it's too pretty." I was like, "Mate, I really don't care. I've just turned up to play football with my mates." And honestly, I think it was like Cradley. And the whole stand's getting mad at me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, because I'm obviously standing up for myself. I'm like, what's going on, man? Like, I've just come to play for Dialogue, mate. So like, I'm getting absolutely
Mad,
crucified.
ain't it? It's
Yeah,
mad.
man.
It's mad
So,
how people act like it. Like me personally, I just think a lot of it's just jealousy.
but I
Because
don't
they
know
can.
what it is. I just don't know what it is. I think it's just like they don't understand. I'm like,
Of course it is.
no,
I think because at the end of the day, it's just hate, isn't it? They're just hating on you.
yeah.
Now, one thing that I mean, don't get me wrong, I've received hate in my life for things that I've done, and it's not even that I've done anything special, like. But people want to hate on people regardless. Now, what I say to myself, because back in the day, it used to get me down, like it used to bother me.
Yeah.
But one thing that I try and tell myself now is, do you know if you're doing something and you're doing it well, that's why people will hate on you.
Yeah.
Because you're doing it well, and they're just jealous.
Yeah.
Because if you was doing what you was doing, but you was not being flown to Dubai, you wasn't earning money from it, you wasn't being given cars, do you think people would care?
No. I've lost about 15, 17,000 followers I have since COVID because obviously we ain't been working as much. And then because we wasn't working as much, I thought, you know what, I don't want to go back to modelling. So I left my agency. I still do it on the side, but like I took a step back and I just watched my followers go bam. And I was like, to be fair, I took a risk in the gym, bought a house with my missus, so we've got to renovate that. And then I've started a supplement brand as well. That's 3 major things that I've probably done it a bit too quick, to be fair. But it's real life stuff. And if I fail, but I'll do everything properly. And honestly, my Instagram's going down at the minute, and I'm just like, it's mad, like, just because I put in brands on all the time, like, it's mental, like, and I'm just like, mate, do you understand how much people have got to offer that I'm actually like good people?
Yeah.
It's mental. Like what you're doing now is like talking to people, getting to know them. That is such a big thing, especially in these sort of times. I'm just like, it's actually simple, innit? If you actually just take your time out and just ask about people and talk to people, like talk to a person.
Yeah.
Whether you want something out of it or not, like just don't think that deep and something good will happen. It's that simple. And you'll get people smiling. If people are smiling, that means good things happen. Good things happen, everybody's blessed. And that's how simple it is.
It's like, I mean, from our channel's point of view, like, we never really dabbled in Instagram.
Yeah.
And we had a meeting, pretty much midway through COVID, we had a meeting and we was like, listen, the way social media is working, it's changing. So we need to sort of attack Instagram a little bit. So what can we do? And we just thought, you know what, we'll just do some Instagram live. We'll just do some Instagram live. We'll talk to people. If people want to talk to us, great. If they don't, then what are we going to lose, really?
We're losing nothing at all. Like.
I could do this Instagram live with you. We do our Instagram lives before every Wolves match. But one thing I said,
that's sick.
Dad, you know what? We thought, why not? Let's just do it. No one's doing it. You know, instead of listening to the idiots on Sky Sports and BT, like, we will do it and just tailor it for Wolves fans. But if we get 1 viewer or 1,000 viewers, it makes no difference.
No, man.
We're just doing it because we want to do it. Like it doesn't matter how many.
It don't, like, so that's what people realise. So, for example, like, if I don't know, so at the gym, so if I bought the gym and I'm doing all these improvements to the gym, and people ask how many members you got and stuff like that, and it's like there's so much pressure to be the best gym, because obviously there's gyms around that have got absolutely smashing it, but then it's like it's a competition. I'm like, listen, I'm in no competition book with myself, like, really, because I've got a job to do. I took it on now. As long as that gym's better than what it is, because I'm trying.
Yeah.
And I've won. I've already won. But what the thing is now, because when you're on top, you got to start making it, like, you got to make it contagious. Like, you got to make everything you do contagious. Like, you're doing yourself. You're making this contagious. People, like, say, if people leave this now and they've like smiled during our conversation, they'll come back and watch you now. And that's it, you've done your job.
I mean, if anybody follow, like, you know what I mean? But it is what it is. Like, if people don't want to follow, then that's cool as well. Like, like, it really doesn't matter, because we just do it because, like, genuinely, like, I could have this conversation with you for Wolves Fancast. Yeah. The Fancast could get 100 followers from it or zero, but it doesn't matter because the aim
is to keep doing it.
But the aim is to have this conversation and just give you a bit of exposure more so than anything.
And just put it out there. Like people people assume, because the internet is a closed book, even though it's an open, massive book, it's really not, because they pick and choose what you want to see. Like, so you think that you know, but you actually don't. Like, you don't know anything. So it's like these little conversations, I think it's class. So I even said that I wanted to do stuff like this more, but it's when you have, I don't know, it's just like say, I can tell that you actually enjoy doing it, so I wouldn't mind coming on here again, but you just don't know what people are actually trying to do with what they're doing, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like because there is a lot of that in the world where if somebody reaches out to you, like, is there an ulterior motive behind it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Whereas it's just literally a conversation, and that's how you're coming across. Like, that's how it should be. That's how the page is coming across. I think it's class. I love it. I think that's great. Like, class, like, just keep it bright. I think it's great. Even doing it like before a game, I didn't even know that. I think that creates a bit of hype. Like, you got your own little community. That's class. Like, that's the best thing you ever.
We literally just do it for Wolves fans, and just because we like to chat about Wolves, like, you know what I mean. But I've seen a question here from Sparrow Henning. Where do you draw your inspiration from? And that can be for anything, not just the modelling, but for anything like.
Luckily for me, I have successful friends, but we never had it given to us. We've all been in the same boat. So my story now, it's happened, like, out of all my close friends at the influencer game, all my close ones, we've all had the same little story, very different ways, obviously. And them going through that and seeing them all do well, so it can either break you as a person, because, like, bloody hell, I want to do as good as them, but it's not about doing as good as them. Like, just be a good person, like you said, and you're literally fine. Whatever you put your mind to and everything, anything that you care about will work. It's simple. But when you see it happening, like I've saw it too, obviously with Jim King, that was a freak one. Then obviously Alex, that's another one. I'm just like, this actually works. Like, this actually works. So when I come back to my friends and they like chat about stuff and that, and them negative and stuff like that, they'll tell you, I'm the friend in the group. If you're chatting shit, I'm gonna rip you to shreds. But at the same time, if you have an idea, people think I'm the worst. I am the best one, because I'll be like, I love it when somebody has an idea. I love it. Yeah. Whereas if somebody's moaning, I'm like, oh, you know what? I will rip you about it, because there's just no need to, like, do you know what I'm saying? If you have an idea, I'll be like, right, how are we going to put this in place? I love it. It's class. Yeah,
that's fair enough. And so, did you grow up with Alex Bowen as well? Like, how did that come about?
I didn't grow up with him. So me and him both went to the same uni. He was in Wolverhampton, and it was the sports college, so it was like Walsall way. And out of all of, like, so I went to college in Sandwell, then he went to college in Dudley. But, like, out of both of our sets of friends, we was the only one who chose that course. And obviously, when we got to uni, we didn't know anyone. So our friends was on other courses, and we just saw him, like, and I was like, so out of, like, 4,000 people in our year, we ended up being split up into, like, a group of, like, mentors of 6. And I was with Alex, like, and obviously I had to keep seeing Alex every day. And then it got to the point where I was at, like, outside a lesson, like early, like, and I went, fuck, go and speak to him, man. I was like, I'll play Xbox, and he was like, yeah, man. I was like, yeah, what game we play? He went, Gears of War. I was like, yeah, man, you best man now. And then we finished the lesson, and then I was walking off. He went, oh, where do you live, man? Because he goes, there again. I was like, oh, I've got to catch a bus, so I drive then. He went, oh, do you want a lift? I was like, yeah, man. He goes, where do you live? I went, Tipton. He went, mate, I live in Tipton. So I don't take you. He lived a street away from me.
No way.
I swear.
No way. And you never even looked into the
Nah. And he lived next door to my granddad. I never knew. 2 doors away from my granddad.
That's mad, that is. That's mad. But you know what? I just think it's wholesome that you got 2 guys from Tipton, and, you know, you're both doing all right, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, that's the harsh reality of it, and it, like, to you say that you ain't doing well, like, we are, but at the same time, it ain't about doing well. It's like doing something that you care about. So that's it. I ain't got to go to work and dread it. Like, I've had the choice to, like, quit modelling. Like, I've had the choice. That's such a blessing in itself. Then there's obviously the gym and whatever I'm going to do. That's the next step. But for me to even have a choice about what I want to do, that's your chance. Like, it's how about, like, some people ain't got that chance. They haven't got a chance to, like, start, like, having that choice. If you've got that choice, you're sound. But you've got to make it work in your favour.
I've got another question. I think this is going to turn into a little bit of a social media chat, to be fair, which I don't mind. Because it's a topic that needs speaking about. So, K92, don't you think social media promoting people looking a certain way is making people act and feel the way they do? So I think what Kate might mean by that is how sort of people come across on social media. Is that putting certain pressures?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. So basically, I'll put it in a nutshell. What's happened? Nobody's seen anything before. So Instagram was all about pictures before. Before that, nobody put on an outfit and take a picture of it. So the first step of that was a picture. People were like, bloody hell, that's weird, isn't it? Now it's the normal. So the first one was the pictures. Now the pictures are gone out of date. Pictures are gone. Now it's videos. People are starting to get, now people are getting bored of the videos. So, well, they haven't getting bored. So it's just it's been around for a bit, but it's still got a bit more like leg room. And then that's why TikTok's involved. Purely videos. As soon as that dies down, podcasts, which is already starting to pop up, conversation, lives, podcasts, Q&As. So that's the evolution of it. So yes, it does make people act a certain way, but it depends on who that person's watching. So it's up to me how I'm going to be through social media by the people I follow. So I'll take action of who I follow.
But do you think that these influencers on social media need to take a bit more responsibility? So what I'm going to reference to now is I've got a son who's 11. So he watches a lot of YouTube streamers.
Mad.
So I was referenced. So when my son was about 8, he would watch like KSI and like the Sidemen and all them geezers there. And in my opinion, now I could be completely wrong, like their target audience, in my opinion, is blatantly teenagers.
Yeah, of course.
And then you see some of the language that they're using and the way that they're talking. Like, do you think, in your opinion, do you think they need to take more responsibility for how they're portraying themselves online to their target audience?
Oh, you mean so for example, if I'm KSI, so is it up to me?
Yeah, well, let's say, for example, you probably know what your target audience is on social media. I'm going to assume your target audience would be probably males and females between 18 and 30.
Yeah.
Well, if you were streaming Fortnite, for example, your target audience then is going to be...
Is it lower, isn't it?
So do you think if that's your target audience... I'm not saying you personally, but you know what I mean? Like,
I know what you mean. So obviously if I was KSI playing Fortnite, and I know what target audience is there, I know where it is, I know what you're saying. You should watch how you speak. At the same time, the whole point of being an influencer, if you are one, and if you reckon you are one, then is you've literally got to be yourself. So it's a tough one. It's a very fine line. You've got to be yourself, because if you're not yourself, as soon as you start doing well, people will find out that you're not yourself. So you're better off just being yourself from the beginning. If you're yourself at the beginning and you get a lot of attention from it, once you get in a good position, then you got to start adapting, because you got to be like, right, I'm doing a bit well here. I've got to watch what I'm doing. I've got to do stuff the right way. Still be yourself, but just be mindful. It's like, I swear, I'll F and blind, but if I do that around my nan or something, I'm going to be like, she knows I swear, I know I swear, but there's certain people, you got to watch what you're saying. It's just manners. So I think that's the sort of mentality you got to have. But
what about, I mean, it affects men as well, but what about sort of women, female influencers who will heavily Photoshop their photos?
Oh man, it does me.
What do you think about that? Because I think personally,
I hate it.
It puts a lot of pressure on women.
I hate it. Like, so for example, my missus wants a lips done, she wants this done. I'm like, nah. Honest to God, yeah. If you're gonna make a good picture, make a good picture by all means. But just this is where it comes down to. You just have just have a healthy brain, man. Just like, you know yourself, and you should be that. It comes down from not being confident in yourself, I guess.
But do you think you could also argue? Now I'm just playing devil's advocate here. Are some of these influencers, because it's all right targeting these influencers and saying you need to do...
You tell them, it's not them.
Do you think that a lot of these influencers will edit their photos because of trolls on the internet and comments?
So basically, I can either get a lot of likes or no likes depends on what I want to post. And I know I'm going to get likes, and I know what post is going to get what likes.
Mm.
And even brands do it now because obviously Instagram's sort of like a business now, so they're after numbers. So if you like, have you saw them reels where you click your fingers and your tops fly on them?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. They've been coming about because businesses love them because there's more product in one piece of content. Yeah. So they're thinking buzzing. So numbers are up. So that means us as influence, we've got to do that. What if I don't like doing it? They'll go, well, that's what we want. So we'll be delivered a brief before I'll get in an email. So we'll have to do it. And if we want that money, that's what we've got to deliver. That's it. Yeah, that's how it is. That's how, before it was like, yeah, if you had a t-shirt, go outside, put that on for me, I'll give you a couple of quid. I'll get, yes, sweet. Whereas now I'll get a brief. This is what you do. This is the reference of what we like. I have to send off my work. If they don't like it, they'll say, no, change it. And if I want that money, I've got to do it.
Because I've noticed that recently, especially JD Sports, all their posts recently have been like, the last one I saw, the guy is wearing like a t-shirt and joggers. He sits on the settee, bang, he's wearing a tracksuit.
Yeah.
And he goes to the car, he jumps through the car, bang, he's wearing another tracksuit.
Yeah.
So it's getting more product out there, isn't it, for them?
Getting more product up there, and then because it's like, that's like, so obviously as like, so people have seen 3 outfits being worn in situations like, so that's like not only more product, it's like how you'd wear it. So it's like you've done a photo shoot basically, because that's what modelling is.
Yeah.
And it's just mad. But then if the numbers are there, that's it. That's what you've told to do. So all these companies have got all the big books. So this is what I'm saying. So me, people go, oh, you're smashing it. Really, I'm just a product. So once I get paid, there's nothing in it for me after that. And this is why I've decided to take a step away from it, because I'm fed up of being a product. Like I don't want, like, it don't mean anything to me. Like what's the point? Like what am I doing it for? So obviously the money's there, but then we get all the shit. Like, so if I'm there posting, I don't know, like CBD tablets that I haven't checked if they're safe and stuff like that, mate, people will blame me. What about the company who's made it? Like, I've already put a post.
Yeah.
I've only done it. I've only been paid for it, but they'll blame us. They'll blame all the influencers. Oh, you're promoting shit. Okay, well, how else am I meant to get paid and meant to not get paid? And that's the thing, man. That's why I just went, do you know what? I'm in a position where I can afford a risk. I'll take the risk. If I fail, I fail. If I don't, I'm happy not being a product.
Fair play. It's a dangerous world. Right, there's a couple more questions here, but I am going to say, shall we just take a quick commercial break? Because I ain't going to lie, I'm just going to be real. I've broke the seal, mate, and I'm fucking bursting for a piss.
Go on then.
Shall we go for a little commercial break and then come back?